You know, the holidays wouldn't be complete without the classics, and when it comes to Christmas classics, god damn are there more than you can count. There's the Muppets Christmas Carol, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol. Okay, it's like 90% variations on a Christmas Carol at this point. But buried under the humbug and somewhat decent mocap of Jim Carrey faces, you'll find one of my all-time favorites. The tale of a green, grumpy guy who hates Christmas for some reason. I mean, green is one of the two major colors associated with Christmas, and the fat man with the elf fetish already has a monopoly on the color red. So why don't we take a look at one of my all-time favorite Christmas classics? Oscar the Grouch leaves his shit all over Sesame Street at Christmas time. Okay, so according to this cease and desist, I am being advised that Oscar the Grouch did not, in fact, leave his shit all over Sesame Street, and that all of existing VHS tapes of the special have been launched into the sun. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the story of a grumpy hermit who gets fed up with all the festive cheer in Whoville, and so decides to steal Christmas for himself. It's honestly as simple as that, and I absolutely love it for that reason. So a little bit of background, the 1996 How the Grinch Stole Christmas animated TV special was directed by Chuck Jones, an American animator best known for his work at Warner Brothers. This special served as the first ever adaptation of Dr. Seuss's 1957 book of the same name. The good doctor was closely involved in the adaptation, especially when it came to translating the book's text to screen. I know there's a ton of commentary on the internet these days about shows that either stray too far from or stay too close to the original source material, but there's just something about the fact that the original book is just like adapted word for word and image for image for the big screen. That thing is that it's fucking great. I am 99% certain that the animation was entirely hand-drawn. Jones was somehow able to blend the original look from the book together with his own distinctive art style, which makes the Grinch have this like sinister yet somehow appealing to young children vibe, and makes him incredibly marketable at the same time. I'd also like to point out that even on the original, non-upscaled copy of the video, the animation is still buttery smooth and holds up incredibly well. And then there's the voice acting and musical score. Oh man, if you were to look at my Spotify Christmas playlist, you'd see You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch is on each and every one of them, with both the traditional song-only version and the version with narration, because I'm a fucking nerd and I love them both. Boris Karloff, best known for his work in the horror genre previously, provided narration for the story, as well as the grumbling, disgruntled tones of the Grinch himself. The aforementioned banger You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch was performed in those sultry, velvety bass tones by Thurl Ravenscroft, one of the most incredible performers of all time, with lyrics, of course, by Dr. Seuss. This song alone became a defining feature of the special and would be featured across all Grinch Christmas films afterwards. I have to specify, by the way, about it being Grinch Christmas films, because there's one where it's like, maybe there's even three. There's one where it's like the Cat in the Hat meets the Grinch, and then there's one where the Grinch goes to find his family. Maybe those two are the exact same movie. I've honestly never seen them. And then there's also that Grinch that appeared in a Smash Bros. Leak. I don't think he was very Christmas oriented at all. But what makes this story truly deserving of classic status? Is it the rhyming narration that makes you feel like you're being read a bedtime story by Willy Wonka? Is it the heartwarming moment where the Grinch's heart triples in size and doesn't blow him up into 1,000 pieces? Or is it the sheer majesty of the most incredible YouTube poop of all time?
Thread by thread, stitching it together. Cutting it on your back.
I will fuck the tree, fuck the tree, fuck the tree.
No one asked why.
Why?
My guess is it's all of the above. The story begins in the whimsical town of Whoville, where the way too joyful race known as the Whos are eagerly preparing for Christmas. It must be something in the water. I mean, just look at those faces. High above the town lives Oscar the Grinch, a grumpy green mammal, yeti, undiscovered quaternary man with a heart 2 sizes too small. The Grinch despises Christmas and all the cheerful noise that accompanies it. Honestly, based on the description, I'm more inclined to think that the Grinch is just easily overstimulated and depressed instead of, well, a Grinch. Determined to stop Christmas from coming, the Grinch devises a plan.
I must stop Christmas from coming.
I mean, it's not the worst plan I've ever heard of. Using his level 99 crafting skill, the Grinch stitches together an outfit from a single bolt of cloth and cosplays as Santa Claus. He even gets his dog Max involved with what I can only assume is the antler from some sort of whimsical deer creature. Using these, frankly, incredible disguise skills, the Grinch sneaks into Whoville on Christmas Eve. He must have rolled a nat 20 on his stealth check because as someone who lives in Ohio where snow is its own season, snow is incredibly loud to move through. Now, let's play my favorite game of all time, Count the Felonies. The Grinch breaks into no less than 15 houses and steals everything from the stockings and presents to the Christmas tree, stuffing it all up the chimney somehow. I'm not great at math, but it feels like we're already at way too many felonies. The Grinch then speeds away into the night, up to the top of Mount Crumpet. As he prepares to dump his ill-gotten booty off a cliff, he hears something. A who. Not just one who, though. That's a totally different story. The Grinch is surprised when the Whos, instead of being devastated, gather joyfully in the town square and sing. In that exact moment, the Grinch realizes that Christmas is not actually about the material things, but about love, joy, and family, both blood and found. Touched by their spirit, the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes larger, giving him the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2. He returns to Whoville with all the stolen items and joins the Who in their Christmas celebration, embracing the spirit of the season. The story ends with the Grinch now sporting a truly happy smile instead of a scowl, carving into the roast beast at the Christmas feast, fully integrated into Who society and filled with newfound joy. At the end of the day, this special's simple yet profound message about the true spirit of the season, combined with the memorable animation, songs, and voice acting, has allowed it to endure in the hearts and minds of millions of people across the decades. And with how easy it's become to access this special, it continues to be beloved by both children and adults, new and old, appealing to multiple generations while evoking nostalgia for old viewers. And honestly, that's the way it should be. Sometimes I feel like we get so oversaturated with specials and movies that try and capture the original feeling of the classics. Some manage to earn a spot in the rankings and work their way up to that classic status, like Klaus or The Christmas Chronicle. But for each depiction of Kurt Russell as Santa singing a song on Netflix, there's a stinker like the animated Elf special. And that's not to say they're not going to end up as classics someday, or that they aren't someone's favorite. That's the fantastic thing about the holiday season. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, there's always something for everyone. And with that, we come to the end of another Be Kind Rewind episode. Seems like I only do these things when something really strikes my attention, which honest to God is how it's kind of supposed to be when I make stuff. I don't really have a good ending for this video, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, have a wonderful new year. Golden Sun video is coming next. I mean, there's like one more video that's actually coming before it, but then 2025 first video is gonna be Golden Sun. I keep saying this shit, and it will happen.